You're watching Summer Money. I'm Dan Murphy. Thanks for your company. Hopefully you're feeling relaxed after the Christmas holidays, perhaps a little less stressed out about work. Well, hate to say it, but there is a chance those stress levels might start to rise when we get back into the swing of things. And that daily stress is exactly what my next guest says we need to manage to improve productivity at work. Resilience expert Stuart Taylor says stress mastery is the key to employee engagement and productivity. He joins me live now from our Melbourne studio. Stuart, a warm welcome to you. First of all, just tell us, why is it time to reframe our views on workplace stress?
Look, even in part of your opening comments there, Dan, I think it's interesting when we talk about this idea of stress management, it really has that idea of a coping construct. Whereas when we start to talk about stress mastery, we have some sense of control over our environment, and it is that place where we can actually be creative and contribute to where our organisation is going. I think that is the essence of stress mastery.
Now, according to these figures released by the Australian Psychology Association, the need for this is ever growing, basically saying that workplace wellbeing and also job satisfaction has been dropping significantly year on year, right up until 2013.
Yeah, and we will see that continue to occur unless we take a more proactive approach to this. In a way, we're dealing with the symptoms, we're not actually approaching this at the cause level and in a proactive way. I think that really is where we need to be going.
So how do, I guess, employers get a start on this? And first of all, how do you recognise if your employees are too stressed?
Look, I think there's a lot that can be done in terms of assessments in organisations to understand not only levels of engagement but also levels of resilience. That is a starting point to gain that awareness. But it really comes back to this place of education to say what is stress, but more than that, how do we change our view of stress from a negative view to one where it's actually an excitement view of stress, because it's at that place where we can reach into our full potential. And we see this in sport, we see this in organisations. When you're on the cusp of peak performance, before there is this place called excitement stress or positive stress.
And so what type of impact can it have on a workforce overall, because it plays into productivity and
Sure.
that area as well?
Look, it's pretty all-encompassing, and I think we've seen this in the work that Gallup published some time ago that looks at productivity, earnings per share. But even if you unpack it to a more basic level, what does it mean for the employee? What does it mean for the health and well-being of the individual? What does it mean for staff members who are wanting to get out there and make a contribution? Very hard to do that when you're feeling like you are halfway down the spiral as opposed to out there making a difference.
So we need stress to foster innovation. That was one of the findings of this survey. Some 16,000 employees that were looked over. Just tell us about the size and scope of the survey as well.
So the survey that we undertook had 16,000 people in 250 companies, and we discovered a number of things. First of all, when you build resilience and stress mastery, you do build engagement. That's number one. No surprise, you also build well-being. Also, perhaps no surprise, it starts to reduce experiences of distress and experiences of depression. And we certainly know from the APS study this is also such a growing area in Australian organisations.
All right, well, Stuart, we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us on Summer Money.
My pleasure, Dan.